so the sound will be good. It's a beautiful day, y'all. Put my seatbelt on. Good morning. I'm having some thoughts. I'm having some thoughts. I'm trying to debate. I'm like, you know what? I'm debating to myself. Trying to see if I can get this to be straight and not move. I'm debating to myself. I'm saying, I wonder, while I'm entertained, I think I have the privilege to take a break from the white rage. I think I have a privilege, and I'm going to. I'm going to take a diet from the white rage, um, just for my own loveliness. You know what I mean? No, no real convictions or anything. Just because I can. I I think that Black folk we need to put things into perspective. Put things in perspective, and so I kind of want to just like process that. Um, what we have before us is, oh, they got a water main break. Oh Lord. Uh oh. Uh oh. Anyway, what we have before us is a period of time in which white folk are waking up. They're literally waking up. What's up, DLD? They are waking up to a reality they've never seen before. And we are a liberated people, Black folks. We already have been living in a certain reality. We've already been living in truth. So none of this is new or shocking to us. They're shocked. They're outraged. They're having a wake up call, right? Because they're realizing that this so called system that they have bought into, paid into, invested into for all of these hundreds of years is not serving them. It was never designed to serve them, it only designed to serve the elite. We came here as slaves, okay? We came here as an enslaved people. So we were never under any conditioning or belief system that we were going to have some great wealth and prosperity and full success. Anyone, but it wasn't promised to us. It was promised to them. And because it was promised to them, they feel entitlement. And right now they feel cheated because they're awakening to reality. No longer are the elite hiding this agenda. Um, they changed systems. If you think about it, you had what, kings in Europe, right? And you had the hierarchy, those highest at the top, and then most everybody was a peasant working for nothing like slaves. That system never stopped. They revamped it with so-called free market capitalism. And then these people thought because they came to a new country, a new land, the land of what, milk and honey, all those promises, y'all, it's all propaganda. It's all propaganda. And see, propaganda is as good as it can last, and is as good as its ability to keep somebody asleep. But eventually you start testing the propaganda. Years and time and generations start to test the propaganda. Do you think we're alone in that? I was listening to Rashid Bolson, and he was talking about both sides of these economic options are lies. Communism and capitalism is just two sides of the same damn system. Nobody ever considered that monetary, money, currency, all these things can provide, we can live outside of that. Most of the indigenous world has lived outside of these systems for millennia. And then the white man comes in with these tricks called capitalism and communism, and they act like you only have two options to survive in the world, these two economic systems. And that's just not reality. There are ancient people who did not have these capitalism and communist systems. But they give you these two options. They demonize one and uplift the other. And it's all an attempt to push the propaganda, right? To convince you to be a slave. This is the only option. This is the only option for civilized people, free market capitalism. But in order for you to buy into capitalism, you had to believe you had a chance to be a what? A capitalist. You never had a chance to be a capitalist. You were not designed to be a capitalist. Go back to the feudal system. Were you going to just be a king? Did you have an option to be a king? Well, that's what they're offering you. If you stick with this system, you can be a king one day. There's only one fucking king, right? And there's only a few nobles. Well, they pulled the nobles out, right? They've shown you the emperors, and they have pulled out the nobles, and they sit them before you at feasts. You don't think these white men are angry when they look at these billionaires and they realize that the game, that they've been pawns in the game? You don't think they're angry? Y'all see them pictures of the feast? That shit was put out there. It was so symbolic. It looked just like the king with his nobles in the castle. And guess what? The serfs get to stare and look on, right? The peasants get to look on and behold them eating and consuming while they starve. So white rage right now is at an all-time high. People are white people are waking up in unprecedented numbers all at the same time. And I think it is insane. This is not the first time this has happened in history. This happened in France, the French Revolution. Well, we're about to have an American Revolution. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, it's not our business. It's not our business as black people. Why is it not our business? Because we're not waking up. We've been awakened. We were born woke here. Okay? We're not having internal battles. You know what I'm saying? We're not. We are not having internal battles. We are not confused. We're not dazed. We're not stunned. We're not experiencing any of that. I want y'all to understand these people have believed in a lie for generations. They thought they could all be kings. They thought they could all have kingdoms. And what they're finding out is that everything, every effort towards that aim has been lost. It's useless. It's a joke. It's a whole fucking cold blooded joke. You were always going to be a peasant. And not were you always, you will continue to be a peasant. And look at the reality. We will replace you. At this point, it's even deeper because we will replace you with AI. We'll replace you with automation. At this point, you don't even have value. We don't even need peasants anymore. We don't even need you to do anything. We don't, matter of fact, we don't really need you to exist, right? And the poor white man is thinking to himself, but I've got to save myself. I've got to be a man. I've got to save myself. I need you to put this system back together so I can still be a king. Because if I can't be a king, then I can't have a queen, right? And if I can't have a queen, I definitely can't have a castle. And if I can't have a castle and I can't have a queen, then what is my life worth? White rage. If I can't have a queen and I can't have a castle, what is my life worth? White rage. There's an awakening. White men are realizing that this whole idea of manhood was a propaganda play, a ploy to keep them in line, to keep them motivated. White men are waking up to the reality that no matter how hard they try, no matter what they do, no matter how industrious they are, no matter what their last name is, it's not going to make a difference. You will never have a queen. You will never have a castle. You will never rule a kingdom. You won't be a king. It's not going to happen. The kings are already established. You're just a pawn, you're just a peasant, and you're not anything. At this point, we don't even need your work. Your work has no value to us. You are nothing. It is screaming and blaring everywhere they go. You're nothing. You're nothing. AI, you're nothing. You're nothing. Robotics, you're nothing. You're nothing. Layoffs, you're nothing. You're nothing. High interest rates, you're nothing. You're nothing. Can't afford. You see what I'm saying? They are being bombarded with the fact that nobody needs them to survive. Not even the white woman. Their manhood is useless at this point. White rage. White rage. What do you do with that? What do you do when in just a matter of a few months you come to the realization that your existence is a joke, that nobody cares about you, or any of that shit that you ever talked about. When you come to find out that there is no patriotism, something that drove you. I'm an American. I'm a hardworking American. I'm a tax-paying American. Think about it. And you find out that all of your American money, all your taxes that you paid for, you sacrificed, you stood on that patriarchy and patriotism. And you find out there's other countries that actually run your country. You find out that your culture is looked down upon. You thought it was all that. It took a Indian guy to say it, right? And that's one of the first things. Whoa, wait a minute, hold up. They started saying, what? Who the hell gave this Indian man the ability to judge white culture? He told them. He said, "You guys are lazy. You guys don't do anything. You don't produce anything. You're not smart." A brown Indian from a third world country had the nerve to tell these white folk what the elite think about them. What do you think he got that from? He got that shit from the elite. He's been in those inner circles. The elite versus the peasants. Okay? And unfortunately, he didn't realize that he was just damn a step above them. He was in delusion. So he said what he said out loud, and they disciplined him for it, right? But white rage is not our problem. White rage is coming because white men are waking up to the reality of their patriotism, their patriarchy, their so-called wealth, this kingdom they think they're gonna build. They're coming to find out that their Christianity is being superseded by what? Zionism. They're realizing that the big okie doke is that Zionism has been the driving force behind much of the so-called MAGA movement, right? They're realizing that Zionists are basically positioning themselves to take over the planet. Mark my words, from the United Nations to the United States and anything in between. Zionists have already positioned themselves. There has been a Trojan horse present in America, positioning itself perfectly in all industries globally. And now it's time to execute the play. And white men are panicking everywhere they look. So you got two choices. You join the Zionist takeover and you let all of that stuff you believed about whiteness fall away. Whiteness is being squashed. Let me turn it, let me move this. It's too much noise. All these people doing. It's being decimated. White men are finding out that the game has been played on them. It's been played something serious. They're realizing they were never in control. They just thought they were. They realized that this democracy ain't a democracy. They're realizing that, listen how nasty this is. You have Zionists who have positioned themselves strategically. This is what W.E.B. Du Bois actually talked about, the talented 10th. Wonder where he got that from. I wonder where he got that from, right? Have they not, have the Zionists not played the talented 10th well? They're the most educated, most connected, resourceful, networking people. They position themselves at the head and lead of many industries. They wield power. They connect, they collaborate, right? In government, everywhere. They're everywhere. You can't escape. And all the propaganda. The propaganda keeps everybody in line, doesn't it? They've conditioned people. They're the publishers of the books. They have conditioned people. You can't say this. You can't resist this. So at this time, there's no conversations to be had because of censorship. What do you do with that energy when you realize that everything you believed in was a lie? When you realize that the Trojan horse was there all along and that your ancestors never saw it coming? When you thought your whiteness was so great and grand, and you find out that this talented 10th of Zionists, that the Israelis have infiltrated the whole entire world. Check this move. How about you find out the fact that your tax dollars are not your tax dollars. They will be spent where Zionists who have allegiance to something outside of your patriotic America want the money to go. They control the purse strings. They own everybody. Hey, what's up, Rudin? They own everybody in your government. Check the move. How powerful is whiteness then? They have literally disproved white supremacy. Somebody asked Ben Shapiro. They asked Ben Shapiro, "Aren't you white?" They asked him like three, four times. Ben Shapiro refused to claim whiteness. He said, "I am Jewish." They said, "But you're white, right?" He said, "I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. What do you not get?" He rejected whiteness. Now, these people may have a European descent. They may have a drop of blood that is other. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know who these people really are, but they share a common mentality. It could be a figment of of their imagination. They may have created a culture of dominance, and those who subscribe to it convert to it and claim it. It could be that simple. There's been proof and evidence that it's not DNA. There's no collective DNA marker that you can, subscribe to these people. They can't be identified by DNA. So it may be a collective mentality over time of people who have like minds, and they have called that Zionism. I don't know. It's hard to tell. And that's the thing about right now. It's hard to tell what the truth is. Propaganda and mind games, mind control, it's all over the place. I was listening to Rashid Bolson, and he said something. He said, "Look at it." He said, "We've lost our minds. We don't even talk like people anymore." He said, "Most of the time we're talking in phrases. We sound like commercials. True that. Ain't that the truth?" We have just gotten to the point where we get away from actual language and expression and clarification and clarity of every thought, the way we actually think, and we subscribe to almost like a meme language. We have a meme language at this point. We're losing language. We're creating language, but it's simplified. It's almost a little bit brainless. We talk in memes, kind of. I'm not one of those people. I have a tendency to write too much, to say too much, to be too expressive, I think. I have a hard time. Like that's why I don't like Twitter. I cannot express myself in 200 characters. I can't do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. I never took to Twitter for that reason. But anyhow, this white rage, y'all. What are we gonna do with it as Black people? They are angry, and they should be. They're realizing that the patriotism, the patriarchy, the kingdom, the inheriting of the great capitalism, success, none of that is ever gonna fucking happen. And right now, you're realizing that you're going to descend quickly, quicker than you ever have. You're about to descend into poverty. This whole system is collapsing. We're not going to play that game anymore. This is going to be more like an oligarchy. Trump is showing that. She's showing us that the kings of industry, like we saw in the industrial revolution, the kings of industry will rule the nation. We had industrial revolution, and now we have a technological revolution. And the further away you are from those who are in those particular fields, the distance that you are from them, you will suffer poverty because AI is going to thrive, automation is going to thrive, robotics is going to thrive, right? And even agriculture, it is going to become more it's going to become more technologically driven. Totally. And it's already been on that, right? We've seen the machines connected to the cows that milk the cows. They don't need people anymore. And in my opinion, I believe that they keep the immigrants here because they really do. They say they will not replace us. This is part of the structure to show the majority. And you understand, the war is on the white man. It really is. It's on the white man and his woman because they are the ones who have the numbers. They're not worried about Negroes. They're not worried about immigrants. They need to get the power from the numbers because once those numbers go down, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So, yes, they are flooding this country with immigrants. They are dehumanizing white people, and white people recognize it now. You are dehumanizing. You are taking my value. You are removing my options for work. That's why they're on drugs. Those who've already been on drugs and meth and all that shit, they were already starting to wake up. But right now, we're having a spike in white rage. And the question is for black people, what are we going to do about it? Because it's not our problem. We've been awakened. We've been woke. We've been knowing. And what I'm going to say is this. I just want to say to y'all too. I'm at the Jewish Kroger, so you can see the. I'm at the Jewish Kroger. I come over here sometimes because they have an abundance of food. My daughter, she goes to school over here, and they have an abundance of food in there, and it's always marked down. Why I do not know. In most places, they just order enough. Here, they order too much, and so most of the food when you walk through, it's all got clearance on it. It's crazy, isn't it? So I come over here and I shop where they shop. Anyway, um, at least Kroger because I don't have Kroger in my ear. I have Publix. Anyway, the interesting thing is we have to decide what we're gonna do. I say black people we need to get our popcorn and stay away. Avoid them. Avoid them. Avoid them. Because that white rage right now is directed at the elite. That white rage right now is directed exactly at where it's supposed to be. It started with the guy from healthcare, right? Did it? It started with the guy from healthcare, United Healthcare. I mean, I'm not gonna say it started, but this is where we really it came on the map, right? And you said, why would he do that? White rage is very methodical right now. It is reaching out and lashing out at exactly who is the target. It really is. They're focused. Let them stay focused on their targets. They know not one black man took their job. They know not one black man raised their insurance rates. They know not one black man or a black person is responsible for them not being able to afford a house. They know it's not a black person that is making those student loans squeeze their pockets. They know it's not a black person putting them to poverty. It is not a black person who fired and laid them off. It is not a black person who's sitting on any of those boards that's making decisions, that's making it hard at the IMF, at the Treasury. They know that no black person is responsible, right? I don't care what comes out of their mouth. I don't care what comes out of their mouth. That they talk shit to us and they publicly talk shit to us and they talk about us and with all that fake propaganda because they can. There's no censorship on racism towards black people, anti-blackness. Those are the people you can talk to, who they really want to talk to, who they really want to give a piece of their mind, who they really want to rage on. They can't. They'll be censored. They already know this. So do not be fooled when you see them doing these little acts of microaggression. They're clear who the real target is. They're clear who holds the power. They know that we don't call no national federal shots. We didn't make these fucking laws. They know that. They know that all the oppression that they are experiencing is coming from where? Zionism as well as white male elites. And they're realizing they're connecting the dots across history now. They're seeing the same struggle of their great grandfather who believed in that kingdom, right? And that Christianity and that patriotism and that masculinity. All of that shit was a lie. And now he has nothing. This is why he will take the barrel of a gun, blow away everybody in sight, and turn it on himself. He's fucking done. You hear me? He's fucking done. He knows he's done. It's not your fucking problem. It's not my problem. Let these motherfuckers rage on. Let them point their barrels wherever the fuck they want to point their barrels. Your barrel is not my fucking problem, and you know it and I know it. So black people, get out of the conversations, honestly. If you're looking and you want to eat popcorn, cool. Yeah, that's exactly who they mad at. That's who they mad at, Woo. They mad at them, the hats. They mad at the hats Cause they see in the okey doke and the Trojan horse. Yeah, they mad at the hats. Goddamn right. They're seeing through the propaganda. They're realizing that them people don't even let them talk anymore. They're putting laws down. Ain't no black people putting no laws down telling you you can't talk. Ain't no black people shoot Charlie Kirk, right? They're seeing their enemy clearly. And they are having white rage. And as far as I'm concerned, the purge is on. They are purging. That's what's happening. I'm here to tell y'all that. There is, and it's just getting started. And I'm not gonna be schizophrenic. I'm not gonna be worried, honey baby. I'm not gonna miss a beat. My heart will not jump a leap. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Like Martin Luther King said, I am not worried. There's nothing to worry about. They're clear. No matter what they say, they talk shit to black people because they can get away with it publicly. There are no consequences. So that's their verbal outlet. Talk about black people, but they are clear who the bullseye's on. You know the bullseye's on? Them folks with the hats. And if they can't touch them, the white elite will do. There's a man, I believe it was, I'm not sure, was it? I think it was Rhode Island. Y'all need to pay attention. Get on JLR. It's a channel. Okay. Is it JRL? JRL, JLR, one of the two. I need everybody to subscribe to that because you need to pay attention to the white rage. You need to pay attention. Every single day, all day. It's shooters everywhere. It's crazy. If they put this shit on the national news, we would have a problem. There would be some paranoia. The purge is alive and well. And it's just starting to roll. It's about to snowball. They're crashing out left and right. That white male patriarchy, that elitism, all the stuff they thought they were entitled to, the uh, patriarchy, Christianity, that shit is folding in on them. Jewish people have gotten them to the point where they're telling them you can't even say Christ is king. They are telling them if you say Christ is king, that's anti-Semitic. Everything you do, white man, at this point, I'm gonna control you because everything you say, every move you make, any resistance at all, we're gonna consider you anti-Semitic. And guess what? We have the power to put laws in place that anybody who is accused of being anti-Semitic, you will be subdued, you will be jailed, you are going to a place you will not come out of. We are going to put you in jail for trying to survive. We're going to put you in jail for trying to resist. We're going to use AI and all types of technology to track and find any bits of resistance. All that white supremacy, rah, 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 it's going to be Zionism replacing you. You're done. And the rage is on. Let me read these comments. Um, the more I realize how much influence and power they have in this country, it kind of scares me too. How much power they have over politicians on both sides. Power they own. They own. And it's so strategic. And that's just the parts we can see. That's the parts we can see. Check this out. They get $3 billion a year that we can guarantee, given of our money for no reason at all, is given to them, to their country. Their country turns around and takes that money, pumps it into APAC and all these other organizations that are like APAC. Because see, there's many. There's not just one. And they use the American tax dollars that we paid. That's the $3 billion to buy our politicians so that they can rule them through Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene put a legislation out there, right, to vote on. She wanted to consider. She said, I don't want 500, I think it was 500 million, just 500 million to be given to Israel. I don't want it. Who supports me? She only had like 3, 4 people that supported that bill. I think it was 5 people total, including her. Nobody else in Congress, I'm talking about Senate and House, was willing. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That right there, what she did was strategic. She was showing everybody in America what it is. Do you think that these cousins, these white folks ain't paying attention? You think they don't see the power? They don't see this legislation coming, easily passing. You think they don't see it? When those two Israeli diplomats got shot, them barrels are pointing. That's all I can tell you. Them barrels are pointing. These folks is waking up. Their patriarchy, their Christianity, all that shit. Their white supremacy is being crushed. They're screaming white supremacy, and while they're screaming white supremacy, those folks with the hats are consistently calculating. They are documenting, and they're going to punish. You hear me? They're going to punish. And it is scary to think that any people can have so much power and be a minority. W.E.B. Du Bois got that fucking idea from somewhere. The talented 10. Where, I wonder. Position yourself and you can lift your people up. I wonder where he got that from. I just wonder. Okay, let me read the other comments. And the thing is, the black people we've always been a tool for them to make money because we're a happy people, a joyous people. They're not threatened by us. Now, they will throw us under the bus. They do it in the news all the time. Who owns the media, right? We are a pawn that they can play at any point. We're not played, but the image of us is played, right? Whether that's for good or bad. They make money off us because we're creative people. That's what you do off of creative people. You make money. Concerts, right? Sports. We're not a threat to anybody. We never have been. We never have been. We've always been a creative people, a peaceful people. We're not a threat to anybody, and that's why I'm saying the target ain't on us. It has never been on us, ever. We're not the fucking target, okay? We'll never be the target. The barrels are not pointing at us. They talking shit. You understand? They're talking shit because we're the only ones they can get away with talking shit to. But who they're pointing at, it ain't us. It ain't us. It ain't gonna never be us. They're starting to see clearly. She said the white people are going to end up rising up, and black people need to bear arms because we might be thrown in it. I see the need to protect oneself because you have wayward ones that are not bold enough to go directly to their target, no doubt. But at this time, I think that they are being so inundated with the reality of who their enemy is. The enemy is saying, hey, I've been here all along. This is the play. This is the plan. You're going to get with it. You're going to be submissive or else. That's it. Those who are in charge are laying down the law and they're not apologizing. They're not whitewashing it. They're not trying to water it down, sugarcoat. They're not doing none of that. They're saying, you're not shit. We are everything and you will submit or else. And whether you do or not, we're putting everything into play to subdue you. And we're going to show you play by play. We don't give a fuck because we're untouchable. We're going to do what we're going to do. The plan has been laid for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. This elitist crowd, we're not hiding anymore. We're coming out open. And fucking what? What you going to do? What you going to do, motherfucker? What you going to do? Nothing. You're not gonna do nothing. And some of them have woke up and they said, oh fuck, oh shit. There's like a paranoia. White rage is paranoia. It's paranoia because they realizing that the walls are closing in. That the dream was a complete nightmare all along. That you've been told and sold lies, and that shit was never gonna happen. These motherfuckers are turning the barrel on themselves. We're gonna see a heightening in just suicide because these are the ones that are not gonna go and be confrontational. Okay, we're gonna see a higher rate in drugs in the white folks. We've seen it, have we not? This so-called epidemic. Nobody could explain it. It's the depression. It's the slow awakening. It's the reality taking hold. Yeah, your work has no value. Your woman doesn't want you. Your children don't like you. Your children are betraying your race. They are preferring someone outside of whiteness. Nobody buys this idea that whiteness is great. White supremacy is failing. It's failed you. White civilization, Europeanized civilization is fucking failing. You're not part of the inner club. You're never going to be anybody, no matter what they said. You can't afford anything in your own country. You don't have any educational resources. Just because you're white, you're never gonna get anywhere just because your skin color. You just think you will. And reality is starting to set in. And now the squeeze is gonna be on because when them little white children, them white rural children go to school, they're gonna sit there, right? When this next budget round comes and there's no free school lunch, they're gonna sit there. And when those food stamps are cut, majority white, rural people, these peasants, and they can't afford food, y'all, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. White rage is gonna take off. It already is. Y'all need to go ahead, get on JLR, and I need y'all to watch that shit. Just pay attention. You don't gotta watch all the stuff, but just pay attention. He covers every day the shooters. There are people taking out their families right now. Do y'all know that? There are white people who are just going and they're just shooting everybody in their fucking family. They are every day. He covers multiple ones, and they're across all states, especially the Midwest and the rural areas, Iowa, Pennsylvania, rural. Oh, they're doing all kind of shit. They're angry and they're full of rage. White rage is on white people right now. I'm saying white right now. Zionists and white people, white elite. This guy goes, I think it's in Rhode Island. He drives up to a fucking what do you call it? He drives up to a what do you call that place? Uh, what is it called? When you they play golf there. Country club. White guy drives up to a country club. Don't know nobody, never been there before. But as far as he's concerned, he's poor and they're wealthy, and that's his target. He don't know none of these motherfuckers. Not none. Not one person in the room. They're having a beautiful dinner party at this. They're having a beautiful dinner party at this facility, this country club. Okay, country club is what usually you think about wealthy people. That's his thought. Everybody in there probably guilty of something. Somebody in there is guilty of oppression. So I'm gonna shoot all these motherfuckers. That's what he did. He went, took his ass in there with his gun, and he shot every goddamn body, and he shot at everybody. He just sprayed the goddamn room. I think he killed about 4 people. And you ask him why did they do it? It doesn't matter why they did it. Looking for notes and shit written on bullets is bullshit. It's bullshit. We know what the fuck the motive is. Just stop playing. It's white rage. It's on. It's on. The white folks have realized that everything they've been sold is a fucking lie. Capitalism is a lie. This idea of American success, having a home, and all of this shit. It's a fucking lie. They'll never be the king. They'll never have a castle, and the queen doesn't fucking want them. Okay? And they're turning the barrel on themselves, and they're turning the barrel on anybody who they think is oppressing their ass. And as far as I'm concerned, I think they're crystal clear. You said, let's see here. I'm gonna read some comments. The white people are going to end up rising. Yep. I'm starting to believe. I think that respond to that. I think that we as black folks need to just remove ourselves from them as much as possible. I would hate to say sell your house or leave, but if you live among them and they can't reach out and put that barrel where they want to put it, you will be the next target in line, right? What they call it, collateral damage. You don't want to be nobody's collateral damage for white rage or somebody who's not doesn't have enough balls to go to their actual oppressor. You don't want to be collateral damage. I would say to black people, your best bet is to move among others. Okay, live among others. If you live in a predominantly, um, and I almost want to say, this is not going to really. This is mostly working class whites and poor whites that are having white rage. It hasn't reached the professional class. It hasn't reached the white middle class. They're feeling the squeeze, but they're not losing. The poor whites and the working class whites, they're losing. They're the ones with white rage. And I think eventually they will start turning on the professional class white people. I do. I think that they will start aiming at the suburbanites. I think at some point they will start messing with the white yuppies. I think that will happen. But I think it's going to be a whole lot of white on white crime. And it's going to be because they know for a fact that ain't nobody black did all of this shit. These laws and all this stuff that's suppressing them. They can't talk. They can't do this. They can't do that. They know it's not us. They're real fucking cool. They're crystal clear. They're crystal clear. I'm starting to believe that Israel have the Epstein files and ready to release it if white people don't do what they want. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a weapon. That's a weapon to keep these people in Congress in line. That compromise, that shit is not a joke. Hell yeah. They are using information and spying and all of this type of shit, these networks. Last time Netanyahu, and every time he goes to the White House, they pretty much are leaving spy materials to collect more data. That's a fact. And what you gonna do? Nothing. Why you think he come back every month? That motherfucker come back every month. He comes to the White House more than goddamn Trump do. Think about it. He's establishing dominancy. Y'all see that? Do y'all not think that him standing in front of Congress is not letting the cousins know the time is up, that white supremacy is over, and Zionism is here to stay? Y'all think they don't see that he's been given Congress to lord over? I paid you bitches. Now I'm here. Listen to what I gotta say, right? Y'all think that when he goes before the United Nations and talks that shit, you think white people don't see that the jig is up, that white supremacy is done, that y'all have been bamboozled all along? Y'all was a pawn in the game. Your money, your resources, everything will be controlled. What's fucking new? What's fucking new? Black people learned a whole lot of shit just through the entertainment industry. Look, come on. Kanye did not that's what I'm saying. Black people be knowing shit. And we crash out. Oh, you're this. Oh. And the same people now they like, see, Kanye was right. You think Motown, all these black people, we've been learning shit. The football player, we've been learning some shit. We just learn how to operate smarter within the systems that's required. But white folks didn't know. They didn't know. Now they do. So it's white rage. These politicians are selling Americans for a check. Yeah, I think that 3 billion is just the. I think that's the bribery fee. The Congress passes the 3 billion for Congress, basically signing their own paychecks to be sold out. Why are they approving it? Because that's where their money comes from. That 3 billion U.S. tax dollars that goes to Israel is being recycled to pay Congress off. They are signing their own check to get paid. $3 billion goes to Congress and whoever else is out here that needs to be bought off. That shit's bought and sold. And that's what I'm saying. The white folks is looking at this shit. They're realizing for the first time, like our whole Congress, my vote doesn't matter. Congress represents Israel. They are realizing it. And that shit is crushing. It's exploding their hearts. They can no longer pretend. They can no longer ignore or not see. It's in your fucking face. These people pulled off the mat. They said, yes, we own and we're gonna run this shit, but now we're gonna do it with a front face. Now you know. If there was any doubt in your mind that we've always been in control, now you motherfucking know. And what? And me personally, like I said, I'm a black person. I never thought I was gonna be the king. I never thought I was going to be ruling over no kingdom and I was going to have this high level of this and that. I knew from birth that all I can do is what my ancestors have done. Be a good person, try to thrive in a space that's not easy, and it wasn't set up for everybody to succeed. I knew that from birth. We all those people of color, we knew this shit from birth. We are not fooled. Okay, I'm gonna read the next comments. Wu said, "What's crazy is that they are all white to me, just different religions." Yeah, they appear to be white. I've been trying to figure that out. I think that there's some little something in there, gypsy blood, some Middle Eastern blood somewhere back in the day. I think they're mostly probably white. They do look a little different now. Some of them do look a little different. They have some particular features. But there's these was the ones from like Poland and shit. I think they're real watered down. And I think just like Trump's daughter, right? She married a so-called Jewish person who appears to be white to me. She's clearly a white woman herself. But those children, you see what I'm saying? They're taking on this Jewish identity. So I think it's been like a one drop here and there. They've been quite watered down, if they have a drop at all. I don't know. It's hard to say because DNA can't prove shit. It hasn't been able to prove shit, right? But anyway, they share a common mentality. Whether it is a figment of their imagination, a delusion, they're in it to win it, goddamn it. And maybe it's just a bunch of people who's like, fuck it, you can't beat them, join them. Who knows? Who fucking knows? They got some black ones that say they're Jews over there in Israel. I've seen them. But the other Jews don't treat them the same. They don't treat them the same. They treat them as inferior. There's always colorism and racism anywhere you go. Okay, so who is this? Maxwell Steele. White rage, explain that term, please. And then he put cow bullshit, I guess. Um, why ain't you at work instead of running your mouth? You're funny and wrong. You won't be ruling nothing. Right, Maxwell, that's the thing. I have never, ever, ever thought I was gonna rule shit. I wasn't told the lies. I'm assuming Maxwell, are you white? Are you white, Maxwell? Are you white? And if you were listening, you hear what white rage is. And you said, why am I why you ain't at work? Okay, first of all, why ain't you sound rural. Why ain't you at work instead of running your mouth? Yeah, you sound yeah, it does matter, Maxwell. It does matter if you're white. Because you're asking me questions and whether you're white or not does change the outcome of the conversation. Because you might have white rage. That's what I'm asking. You might have white rage. That might be why you're here. You see what I'm talking about? And now that's what I'm gonna say. White people looking for a place to express themselves. They need to have somewhere to express themselves because they can't say it to them folks. They can't. Them folks will cut your lips off. They'll sew your mouth closed. Okay? They'll bust your teeth out. They'll put you in jail after they do all that. They will torture the fuck out of you. You can't talk to them. They're about to make it illegal for you to talk about them or say anything to them. Anything they don't like. They want to control your mind. And they will. Maxwell, you're done. You're done. And you're probably somebody who's having white rage, right? You want to lash out. You want to find some black people to be mad with, right? Right, Maxwell? What is she wrong about? He can't explain it. He says you are fake. Yeah, okay. You don't know me, bruh, but this is the reality. White rage is something that is taking over white people because they can no longer hide from reality. They can't. It's in their face. It's blatant. The masks are off. The feasts are being had. The plans are being made. They're watching the money be distributed. That was a lot of money, y'all. A lot of money. And none of them are going to get access to none of it. You think they're not mad about that? All that white power, all that MAGA, and that man turned on their ass. He weaponized the white supremacy and the racism against them. He used that to help them identify themselves. Y'all hear me? He used MAGA to help them identify themselves. And when they get this AI, this mega computer, these systems that can track and trace you everywhere you go, everything you do, Peter Thiel, right? When they get that system fully operational, you better not fucking dare, right? And it's games they're playing. We're going after Antifa, right? That's a test run. That's the test run. Because that's what they do. They give you a point and then they kick you all the way up your asshole once they give you the point. So that's what the thing, you're slow. So you're sitting there saying to yourself, oh, I know, I'm on the right and they're going after Antifa. That's the left. Yeah, yeah, we're winning. I got a point. It's stupid. It's slow. Watch the full play. After that, after this so-called war on Antifa, guess who's next? Guess who's next? The far fucking right is next, right? Zionists can't have a whole bunch of pro-white people organizing and talking shit. You identified yourself. That's what they want you to do. When they give you that point, you jump up. Y'all, let me tell you something. When I go to these meetings with these Confederates, and certain things are said, I look around the room and I watch faces because some people are identified. Some people wear the T-shirt and some people don't. I watch their eyebrows and I watch their eyes. And I said, "Oh, that's a Confederate." When you say something and they're outraged, they don't like it. There's a grimace that comes and then it disappears very quickly. I watch all of that. Because people, you need to identify your enemy. And so every time they throw out something like, oh, we're going after Antifa, what happens is the far right, they start they start jumping and yelling, yeah, 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 yeah. And they say, oop, got him. Oop, identify. Oop, identify. All this is going into a database. I just want y'all to know. All this shit, all these little celebrations, the right versus the left, and all these extremists, all that shit is going in the database. Your best bet is to shut the fuck up, but they too stupid. They too emotional to shut the fuck up. Best thing to do is be a spook that sat by the window. Don't nobody know who you are, what you think, and what you gonna do. But they're too emotional. They're too emotionally attached to whiteness, to white supremacy. They can't shut the fuck up. They can't stop reacting. They can't stop responding. It's white rage. Y'all, the purge is on. These white folks is taking each other out and it ain't none of our business. Let me see what this man talking about. He said, ha ha ha. He's not very intelligent. He doesn't have anything to say. He said Trump pulled a chess move on the suspected white supremacy. Yeah, he pulled a chess move. He and y'all listen. Trump is not the one who's doing anything. He's a puppet. They're telling him what to do. They told him to do these tears. They want to tear down America's infrastructure, the strength. They want to take the white man's ability to sustain himself. They want to shake his foundation. That's what you do. What do dogs do when they come? They want to get you, and you're tall and you're bigger than them. They come and they bite the fuck out your ankles. They shake your foundation. If they bite your ankles and you fall down, then they can get you where they really want you. They can go for the throat. They're shaking the foundation of America. These tariffs, the this, the that, making enemies. They're telling Trump what to do. And you think he gives a fuck? He's old. His kids are set up. They're in there. The next generation is going to be a bunch of Zionist children. His daughter, his sweet daughter, she's already well on her way. She has a Zionist husband. They're making millions and billions of dollars. Do you think he's troubled because white men are being betrayed? Hell no. That motherfucker is all about himself, just like most elitists. Um, he says, meeting with who? This wisdom is from a woman sitting in a car in an empty parking lot. You must be a child. You must be a child, Maxwell. You must be a child. You sound silly. You sound silly because you don't know enough. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't have anything to prove to you. There's a reason why I have the luxury, Maxwell, of sitting in a parking lot for an hour talking shit on the internet, about to go shopping. There's a reason, Maxwell. What do you think it is? You idiot. There's a reason. And I'm not gonna explain it to you because you don't deserve the truth. I got a white man asking me why I have the privilege. Y'all see, this is a live time. This is a lifetime. I have listen, y'all listen. This is why this white Maxwell, bless you, bless you. You gave me the laughter of my life. Y'all tell Maxwell a little bit about me. No, I don't do it. He don't deserve the truth. Baby, I'm privileged. That's why I got a white man. He's upset. He's like, how could she? How does black woman sit in the parking lot? Sit in the parking lot, not at work. Maxwell, you made my day. This is why white rage happens. I'm sick of the Jewish Kroger. Shit. Oh my God. Oh, fuck. Oh shit. Maxwell. You made my day. Oh my God, what a blessing. You can't make this shit up. Fuck. Ah. Ah. Does my laughter sound like a lie? Oh shit. Maxwell, Maxwell, go. Are you on your second or third job? Maxwell, do you have a mortgage? Are you able to pay? Is that why you're here? Your white race getting to you, Maxwell. You're looking for some black people to bother. That's the question you need to ask. Why are you here? Oh shit. Ah, yeah, Maxwell. I don't make money on the internet. That's why I do this for a hobby. See, when I have time for a hobby. Oh shit, Maxwell, you made my day. He asked me, "Why are you not at work?" A white man asking a black woman, "Why are you not at work?" Man, fuck you, you idiot. I'm about to block you because I've had enough fun. Uh, yeah, sure, Maxwell. Sure. That's why we got white rage, right? You probably can't work. You probably been laid off, Max. Was that why you won't here? Because you laid off? You underemployed? Is that why you won't? We on here for different reasons. Are you on here because you laid off? You can't find work. You don't have no skills. Why you on here? Why you on here, Maxwell? This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Y'all see that? White people, they think they have the audacity to come in to talk to black people. And you see how I dealt with him. He's not getting any information about who I am and why I'm sitting in a parking lot talking. He's not getting any truth from me because guess what? He's not relevant. Maxwell is losing. He's losing. And now that I've had fun with him, I'm gonna dispose of him just like they do. What is it called? How do you do? Put user in. No, what's the other one? I can't just. Can I just get rid of him? Put him in timeout. How about, let me see, 30 minutes, and then I'll delete you later. You see how I did? I erased him. That's how they do you. They erase your ass. You ain't useful. You have gotten past your usefulness, Maxwell. So all you can do now is listen. Listen. That's all you can do. This is very interesting. I'm watching the Jews. They don't drive. They live down the street, so they walk up the street. So I'm watching them as they walk up the street. This is not new. I'm just telling y'all. If you see a lot of them walking, that's because they walk from their neighborhood. They don't drive. I don't know if they anti-car or what the fuck that is. But they sure got some good sales in this fucking. No other Kroger's in the Atlanta area have sales like this place. So that's why I'm going. And I got to get some apple juice from my daughter. I'm trying to figure out what else I'm going to do with my day. I hadn't planned. I usually plan my day. I'm about to end my stream. Maxwell gone. Bye, Maxwell. The audacity of white folks. But last thing I was gonna say, this is a new thing. I can't wait for the extinction. I hope it speeds up even more. I look forward to it. That's part of the white rage. They understand their numbers are down. They're going to continue going down. They can't replace themselves. The birth rate is just decimal and dismal. I'm sorry, dismal. The birth rate is dismal, and their numbers will never ever go up. It's only going down, down, down. And in like two generations, they're it's a wrap, y'all. They're done. In 2 generations, it's literally a wrap. I predict by 2100 there won't be any more. They're facing that too. The inevitability of extinction due to inferior genetics. Why do I say inferior genetics? Because that white genetic marker is recessive. All other genetics are dominant. If you mix a white person with a African or a black person, you got a black person. I'm just telling you. You can call them biracial, beige, whatever. They're different. They're not white anymore. They're not. Um, that's a reality, and that number of interracial children is speeding up. It's speeding up. So this like straight up white, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's adding to white rage. The numbers are there. They're what 6% of the global population and dying and not replicating, not replacing, not. And I mean this. Y'all don't think that the rainbow, they don't have any place in Jewish culture. I'm just being honest with y'all. They don't have any place in Jewish culture for that. In their culture, no, absolutely not. But it's good for everybody else. I just want y'all to know. Y'all think that's not by design? The promotion of rainbow everywhere, but their society. Because I be around them a lot. I'm just be honest with y'all. Not Zionist, but I be around these folks a lot. My daughter goes to school with them. She got a lot of Jewish friends, right? This whole area is Jewish. She has speech therapy. Her speech therapist is Jewish. The whole establishment is Jewish. Everybody's Jewish. Not Zionist, Jewish. And let me tell y'all something. When I see them women coming for their kids to get speech therapy, which is an intervention that is another what privilege, right? That's another privilege. Because a lot of people be talking fucked up as adults because their parents don't have the resources or the money to get them fucking speech therapy while they're young, you know. So again, we're dealing with another level of privilege. This is going to contribute to white rage. Yes, black people can take their children while they're young into speech therapy. Yes, we can do that to have correction. It's just like bow legs, right? You be feeling bad for people you see like adults and they're walking around with bow legs. And you're like, why didn't your parents straighten that out? They didn't have the resources. So now the person's walking around with their legs looking kind of, bowed out. But, early intervention is everything, but that takes resources. Anyhow, my point about it is that I'm around these folks quite a bit, you know, and they're regular people. These are not Zionists that I can tell. They're regular people. So I engage with them quite a bit. And I see their big fucking vans. All these Jewish women, they drive big fucking vans. And they're in their 30s, 20s, 30s, or 40s. Shit, it takes them 20 minutes to get out the goddamn car. Do y'all know why it takes these Jewish women 20, 30 minutes to get out the goddamn car? Because they got a bunch of kids. They are reproducing like a motherfucker, okay? These Orthodox Jewish women, they are having shit. By the time they 25, they got 7 goddamn kids. Okay? They don't get out the car with no less than 6 kids. I don't know any American women that got 6 kids. I'm just telling you. Okay? They not subscribing to the rainbow. They not doing none of. They not buying into none of that bullshit. I'm just telling you. So who do you think designed to have some kind of whole new culture that's focused on the rainbow? Who y'all think did that? Hmm? Who got the power and the money and the finances to do that? This is another trick. This is another trick to keep them numbers down. Because see, we got to have small numbers of white supremacists, right? That's part of the program. You got to have small numbers. You got to minimize them numbers. We can't have a uprising. We're talking about numbers here. See, there go one. There go one right there. She just drove her minivan. She probably gonna get out with about 5 damn kids. This is an all Jewish. Everybody you see just about is gonna be Jewish over here. They bought the block literally. They bought the whole fucking block around here, and it's got like I think it's about three synagogues down the street. They bought the block, goddamn. This when you go, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll show you. They have a whole kosher section here. They got a kosher butcher in this Kroger. How you arrange that? They got a kosher bakery. They got a kosher fast food. They got a whole kosher whole section. Whole half of the goddamn Kroger is kosher. I be buying that bread. They have some kind of uh braided bread I like a lot. I eat that shit. Anyway, they in it to win it, and you're gonna either give with the program or you're gonna bow down. Let me see what's being said. Wu said maybe this is karma for all the crimes committed on everyone else and even themselves. Yes, ma'am. The God is good. God will bring justice to all people, especially black people and people of color, indigenous people. We are not part of any of this. This is not our problem. And that's what I want to say. They are facing extinction. This white rage is based on being angry about things they cannot control. These people thought they were God. They thought they were God. They thought that they could rule. Y'all need to I just put on my community tab Rashid Bolson. Um, and I started at the 21 point. And the 21 point, I noted that because it brought me back to the conversation that was had with Pure. And he was talking about performance in the Western culture. We do performance to lie over our lives. And he said something at 21 till about 26. He described somebody just like Pure Butterfly. And I was like, damn, I couldn't have said it like that. But he talked about a civilization built on lies, and they hate the truth. He says they are allergic to the truth. They are. They're allergic to the truth. They create propaganda and they create lies, and eventually it becomes a culture. You told yourself that there's no way to survive except to steal, kill, and destroy others. And you take that on and you teach that generation after generation. You live in a state of deficiency, right? Scarcity. Your culture is built on I have to take and steal and destroy and pillage. I have to. This is what you call civilized, right? That's not civilized. It's not civilized at all. It's not civilized. But they've told themselves these lies. And they go into a third world country and tell people, oh, you're not civilized. But because, just think about this. hmm Um, think about this. You have white males who are not even in college going on to a HBCU. So now they're looking for victimization, right? They're looking to create problems where none exist. Is that civilized? Is that civilized? Good morning, Angelica. How are you? Is that civilized? You take your ass to college campuses that are black. You go in the middle of it to be a provocateur. You are not invited. You don't have a permit. You're trespassing. And then you want to turn around and create a scenario. You want to antagonize people in their space. And then you want to say, what's the problem? That's like somebody seeing your front door open and coming inside your house while you're somewhere in your house. They come inside your house, right? And they sit at your table and start drinking something in your refrigerator, right? It's no different. And then they want to proceed to tell you that you're wrong because you tell them they need to leave. You see what I'm saying? It's no different. How is that civilized? How is entering a space you're uninvited? How is that civilized? How could you create yourself to be a victim when you trespass, you invaded, you came unexpected and unpermitted? You took territory and you think you're civilized. And they actually literally called the black folks' reaction a riot. This is what I'm saying. So now they're looking for victimhood. White people are actively looking for victimhood. So they have a chance to perform. And that's what I was saying about Pure Butterfly. She is looking for an opportunity to perform. This is what they do. When they can't deal with truth, they perform. Okay? And she's not looking for the truth. She has white rage. But her white rage is she's in war. I'm just being honest. Pure Butterfly has white rage, but she's at war with herself. Okay? And she's probably placed herself around black people so that she can perform a lot to deal with her own internal struggles. You got to look at people deeper. Sometimes you think people are friendly and they cool with black people. No, they have some issues. Sometimes being around black people, especially if they choose to be around ratchet black people or black people who are not particularly intelligent or articulate, sometimes they're doing that because they're getting, what do you call it? They are getting confirmation of the biases and beliefs they have, and it makes them feel better about themselves. They like to be around backward black ghetto people because it makes them feel better. It's affirming their white supremacy that they're trying to suppress, at least performatively. It says, you missed the conversation yesterday over at Big J's. We talked about this, and I was thinking of you when the topic came up. Yeah, you know what, Angelica? I actually came and I saw that they were live, and I'm boycotting Pure Butterfly because she's not authentic. Now, I'm not dragging none of y'all into it, but anytime I see her, she has some internal issues and some white race she's dealing with, and she's not dealing with truth, and she wants black people to be responding to all of her stuff. It's not rational what she's doing. She has like a form of paranoia and some internal stuff going on with herself. And I'm not going to play any part of her acting out her performances on black culture. I'm not doing it. I recognize what it is. And anybody who can't see it, it's okay. You can't be bothered by what you don't actually see. You know what I mean? But once I see it, I'm not gonna deal with it. She needs to go around white people and work that out. That's my perspective. So I looked in, and when I see her, if I see her in the, I can't see her in the chat. I blocked her because none of her words are useful to me. Nothing she's bringing to the table is useful to me. White people need to go around white people, and they need to have conversations about why they're being white and what they need to do about it. Right? That's what they need to be doing. That's the most productive thing you can do. But telling black people all the ways that they need to be worried, paranoid, somebody gonna get them. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This ain't nothing for me to do, and you're not gonna put that on me. Your white problems, your white rage, that's some shit you created. You're not gonna make that my problem, and I'm not gonna verbally engage with you to try for help you work it out. I'm not gonna do it. So I appreciate you mentioning the stream, but anytime I see her present or whatever, I just skip the stream, and I'm sure there are other people that will do that. Um, I think it's a power pull by coming on Black HBCUs and constantly taunting us. They're trying to make sure we don't align with the. Uh huh. Well, the thing is that the hats actually are the funders of the HBCUs. Spelman was created by a hat. It's still funded by a hat. The NAACP is a lot of times funded by hat. That's what I'm saying. This is not new to Black people. The financial Jewish structures and funding and financing and wielding power. This shit is not new to us. We haven't necessarily resisted it. We tried to find common ground, historically speaking. Now, the question for Black people is, will they at some point step completely all over us the way they're doing white folks? I don't think so, because we don't wield any power that they want. As long as you are not a direct threat to them, they find you useful. I'm just being honest. But yeah, they want to come onto Black campuses and antagonize and think it's power, but they made idiots out of themselves. My question is, why weren't you at your white school that you belong to? Why are you even in college, white boys? Are you? Why aren't you at your white school doing this? Are you in college? Okay, so you're not in college, but you want to come on college. Okay, you just like dude, you know. And the reality is this: those Black folks, we know, they were completely civilized. And that's why I said, if you come to Atlanta and you do a lot of shit, we're gonna do one or two things. We're gonna either whoop your ass if we find you to be a real threat, or we're gonna dance. And that's what they did. They danced. And that's the best thing. That it is the best thing. We know what we can do when we want to. Them folks walked away without being beat and ass kicked and all kind of shit. I'm proud of those young people. They had restraint. And guess what? Black folks always know that. We got something to live for. That's why we don't crash out, right? That's why we don't go and point barrels at people, just random people. We don't do that. We got something to live for. We are people who live in joy. I don't give a fuck what they say about us. We live in joy. We live in creativity. We live in collectivism. We live in our community and our families. And considering all that we've been through, we are happy people. We are satisfied people. We thrive despite them. Despite all the historical bullshit you have done, we still thrive. That's who we are. We are the strong. We make America. We will continue to make America. And the Jews know that. That's why I'm not worried. The Jews know that we make the lifeblood of this motherfucker. They know how valuable we are. Only white supremacists deny it. Jews know. They've been hand in hand with Black people since the beginning of time. Yes, exploitative relationships, but nonetheless, Black people have managed to thrive. Unfair as it may be, we've had a better shake with Jews. Let's be honest. Let's be fucking honest. We've had a better shake with Jews than we have whites. If we're honest. Shit. Okay, let me go back. You said really pure. I would have never really thought of that. I must have missed a lot. Well, I mean, white people are white people, Angelica. They don't change. Some of them are outright and honest with their stuff, and others they struggle, you know. And sometimes their own socioeconomic situation makes them think that they're aligned with Black people. And it's a long history. It's a long history of confusion. And I'm not going to get involved with individual people who get on platforms and demand Black people give them answers about their own fucking people. That's crazy. Why you come around black people saying, what are you gonna do about this? Aren't you worried about that? Da-da-da. You trying to heap responsibility on a people who ain't heaped shit on nobody else. Get the fuck out of here. You need to go ask white people when they gonna shut the fuck up and sit down somewhere and leave black people alone. Go ask them. She needs to go and harass them two white boys, right? That just went on the HBCU. That's what she need to do. Spend your energy on that. Go and what you call it? What's that word? Go and dox their asses. That's what you need to do. Spend that outrage somewhere productive. Go find out who them two young white men are that went to Tennessee State University, right? And find out who they are and call their employers, call any future colleges or college they may be involved in, call everybody and destroy their life. Get them fired. That's what you need to do, Pure. Spend your white rage correctly. That video I sent you yesterday explains that mindset exactly. Yes, Queen. Yes, Woo. Well, that sucks. You are a feature of Big J's platform, in my opinion. What am I gonna do now? Angelica, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just telling you that as far as if she's on the platform speaking, I'm getting the fuck on. And if I'm up there and she comes, I'm getting the fuck on. It's not anything wrong. I believe that black people, we have to remove ourselves when things are beneath us. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel like Pure is so far beneath me. And I'm being honest, okay? It may sound, what's the word? It may sound brutal, but I'm just being honest. I think I'm better than her. And I don't want to be around her because I am better than her. I'm convinced of it, actually. And that's my bougie nigga. That's me. I don't want to be around what I consider PWT. I don't want to be around it because I don't think they offer me anything. She's not more educated, intelligent than me, and everything she says is bullshit. So I just don't want to be bothered with her. And Big J's platform is cool. It's a little hangout spot, but like I got 1,000 other channels that I watch. Now, Angelica, what is it you were saying you were gonna miss us or miss Big Jada? Where are you going, ma'am? Where on the planet do you not have access to the internet? Where are you going? What were you talking about? I'm gonna check the video out and look again, Woo. And it says we've been through so much in this country. The last thing we are going to do is be fearmonger. Exactly. I don't need no white people to tell me what I need to be worried about. I'm gonna need you to go deal with your white rage. I need you to. I'm gonna need you to go and uh, talk down one of these white males that's about to go put his barrel and blow away a whole bunch of people. That's what you need to worry about. You need to worry about that, and that's the truth. At this point, it's white on white rage. And so I'm gonna conclude with this. I'm gonna go in here to this Jewish Kroger, and I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna buy some shit. They got some good goddamn sales. Then don't nobody else in Atlanta have. I don't know how it's possible. But white rage and white extinction is not our problem. Okay, it's not. It's not our problem, and I'm not gonna let nobody make it my problem. Angelica, you said where am I going? Maybe I mentioned it. I put my house up for sale. Okay, but you sounded like you was disappearing from the platform, like you was getting off the internet or something. Okay, maybe I misunderstood what you said. Cool. Well, I'm glad you will be around, Angelica, online, because I was like, damn, she's so cool. I would not want to like, you to not be around. So that's cool. So you'll still be around. That's cool. You got. I'm telling y'all, listen. Angelica got good damn sense. She is so articulate. So articulate. I was like, who is this sister? Who is this sister? Y'all got to hear her talk. Like she's amazing. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. And that's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes we just be better than people. We just be better. We just be fucking better. And when you're better, you just don't want to be bothered, man. You don't want to be bothered. I ain't got time for nobody screaming and hollering. Motherfuckers who are rude. They just talk over people. They saying shit over you so you can't be heard because apparently, that's white supremacy. Don't y'all see that? When you have people who you're speaking and they literally just talk over you like you have no fucking value, like whatever's coming out of your mouth doesn't matter at all. I'm seeing shit on different levels, and that's why I said I'm better than that. I just can't be around it. I cannot sit and let someone treat me as if, like, we all come on the platform to speak, to be heard. to share, to convene, you know, to have conversation. And then you have this motherfucker come up and act like nobody, even the host, nothing he says is good enough. It's loud, it's screaming over him, talking over him. Y'all, if that's what he wants to do, if he wants to accept your value, your conversation is useless. Because as soon as I want to talk, I'm going to speak over whatever the fuck you're saying. If you want to deal with that level of rude, hey, have at it. I'm not interested. I'm better than that. You spent the summer away? Oh, okay. You wasn't online. I appreciate you, May. I've definitely grown fond of you as well. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, y'all. I'm about to go into this. We nickname our Krogers around here in Atlanta. I should say that too. We have one on Ponce de Leon. I don't know why, but somebody was always getting killed at that Kroger. So we call that one Murder Kroger. So that's the Murder Kroger, and this is the Jewish Kroger. Yeah, man. They literally like call it everybody in Atlanta. Like, oh, you talking about the Murder Kroger? Yeah. Because every time you turn around, somebody getting killed at that Kroger. I don't know what they was killing people at Kroger for. It wasn't like they was robbing the Kroger. Just somebody ended up dead at the Kroger. I don't know. It was weird. I know. Murder Kroger. Yep. That's what they called it. They called themselves rebuilding it, like renovating the building to try to remove the death off of it. I think the motherfucker was cursed, honestly. I think the whole building was so good. So good. You said new poltergeist. Yeah, man. A Kroger poltergeist. That shit'll be funny. Yep. But anyway, y'all listen. When it comes to this white rage, do not be bothered. Sidestep white folks. Let them go find and place their barrels wherever they want to place their barrels. It's not our problem. They are very, very focused on exactly who is causing their oppression, and it ain't us. We ain't fired nobody. We ain't raised no interest rates. We haven't started no trade wars. We haven't created no legislation to oppress nobody. We ain't fired nobody. We ain't did shit to nobody. Okay, and this is important for Black consciousness. We have to go back to W.E.B. Du Bois. He talked about double consciousness, seeing yourself through other people's eyes. Later for that shit. We're not seeing ourselves as part of problems and we did this to somebody. We ain't did a goddamn thing to nobody in America. You hear me? And we need to program ourselves to understand that we haven't done a goddamn thing wrong to nobody in these 400 years of America. We ain't did shit to nobody. So guess what? We are a people who have no fucking problems. We don't have no problems. We are trying to survive and thrive. That's it. We ain't caused no troubles and we ain't bothered no damn body. So we're not gonna be the ones walking around here with a troubled mind, okay? We are resting. We are resting. And anybody who disturbs your peace with this foolishness, dismiss them. Dismiss them. When they come with their paranoia and their crazy shit, dismiss them. Just like them young men got dismissed off that HBCU. Them children went on and became scholars and went to their classes and kept their dignity. Okay? These motherfuckers got tossed off. But I do suggest that all HBCUs they need to go ahead and put in a strict high alert system that says anybody who is not a card carrying student who comes across our campus will be arrested on site. Whether you do anything or not, just trespassing, you will be arrested immediately. If you are not a card carrying student who is enrolled, these schools, them kids paid their money. You ain't paid shit to this institution. Get your motherfucking ass on. You don't have no right to be here. They had every right within them to whoop their ass. We know we can whoop ass. We already know. We saw what is it, the fucking boat or whatever? The tugboat, the riverboat. We saw that. Break a chair over your goddamn head. We know we can whoop somebody's ass. That's not the point right now. We're resting. That's why them two white boys just got escorted off that HBCU. Because we're resting. And we already know you looking for problems because you mad. You got white rage. We know. You mad. That's how I feel me say, you're mad. You're mad. We're not worried about you, goddamn it. And we're not gonna start worrying about you. Go point your barrels at each other and have whatever little civil war you want to have and do whatever you want to do. Okay? We're gonna keep cooking our collard greens. We're gonna keep kissing grandma, and we're gonna keep loving each other. Fuck you and the horse you ride. We are people of joy. Okay, we make this motherfucker tick. We make America and Western civilization the good part. We make it what it fucking is. Okay, Ashe. All right. Yes, we need to continue to rest. That's what we're gonna do. Anybody who stops your peace, get the fuck away from 'em. That's all I can say. Black, brown, red, orange. Anybody who's disturbing your peace, get the fuck away from them. Don't entertain them. And me, I'm about to take a diet off of this caring about what white folks is going through. I'm gonna focus and feature loveliness on my channel for the next couple of weeks or months, right? I'm just gonna disengage because I mean, white rage is not my problem. I live in Black Atlanta. I ain't worried about these motherfuckers at all, like none. And so the best thing to do is just ignore their ass. And so I'm gonna take me a break, and then I'll come back and entertain myself with their foolishness. But at this point, it's not entertaining; it's annoying. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I'm annoyed at this. I'm like, oh, y'all so stupid, right? At first, you go from popcorn and laughing, and you be like, okay, yeah, now y'all getting tired. Y'all getting tired. And so once it gets tired, they entertaining. So that's why I'm saying I'm gonna continue to just do me, but I'm gonna just remove any awareness of what white folks is going through. Let them suffer. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? They just getting all the shit they deserve. That's all. You get what you deserve. Like Maxwell brought his ass in. How are you sitting in a parking lot, motherfucker? You don't want me to answer that question. He made me laugh. I appreciate it, Maxwell. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, cracker. Let me go before I say some more bullshit. All right, y'all. I say have a good day. Peace.